Hey, what's up, everybody? Lawler here. Welcome back to my 2021-2022 RLCS guide. Part 5, update on lands. They're back. They're bigger and better than ever. They're longer. There's more of them, and so much more. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my guide for RLCS 2021. Lawler here, going to be breaking down the latest topic, which is in part 5, updates on lands. A lot of things to talk about what to expect for lands, when they're happening. The first one that's been announced, unfortunately, it is players only, but we'll get into that. We're going to break this down into parts. Lands of the past, lands of the now, lands of the future. So we got 3 parts to discuss. Start with the past. First part, lands in the past used to be once a year, pretty much. We had the World Championships. That was about it. Unless there was like a DreamHack Major or something like that, which was an off-season event or like nothing associated to the RLCS. That was the only other thing going on. We haven't had lands since December of 2019. The last time we did was in Madrid for Season 8. I was actually still an RLCS caster at that point. It's been a while. The way it used to be is we would play through an entire season of league play, playoffs. Eventually, the top teams from each region would then go to a World Championship. It would be like a 4-day ordeal, and the winner would lift a trophy. Everybody would be happy. Then we'd all have big, sad post-land depression, and then we do it all over again after a few month break. That is no longer the case. What was supposed to happen last year for RLCS is we were supposed to have at least 4 lands, one for each major, international major. Teams from all over the world come together and play against each other, gain points. Those points then affected your overall standings. Did that 3 times. Best teams at the end of that will then go to the World Championship. Last place potentially for a land was supposed to be Dallas, Texas, which would have been pretty freaking cool. Although the venue was kind of scuffed, if you ask me. But either way, would have been sick. Would have been a good time. Doesn't happen. G2 not lifting the trophy. Sad G2 fans everywhere. We now go to the present. The things that have been announced in the announcement video. First things, lands are back. They are excited about them, and there's a lot of cool facets to it. There is supposed to be a land for every single major. That is staying persistent. The first LAN will be in fall for the major in Stockholm, Sweden, from the 8th to the 12th of December. Exactly 2 years from the last LAN. 2-year anniversary. We get a LAN, Stockholm, Sweden. Really cool. This will be players, managers, etc. only staff. There will be no fans, and they're treating this as a learning experience. Traveling internationally, COVID testing, making sure that people stay healthy, making sure that, hey, do we do this in a hotel? Can we do this with studio things? What things can we do to make sure this runs as smooth as possible? Because a lot of other LANs have had issues with certain players not being able to attend, with certain staff members having to be removed. A lot of different moving parts that go into a LAN. And when you're trying to be health conscious about the whole situation, it is good to, as of kind of like a teaser or a test LAN, to see how they can further take that information and implement it into future ones. We do know that for sure there will be a LAN with a live international play from all over the world on December 8th to the 12th in Stockholm, Sweden. That is happening as long as there is not any COVID restrictions, with travel restrictions, with borders being closed, any of that kind of stuff. As of right now, though, Stockholm, Sweden, December 8th to the 12th. We've got international competition for the first time in 2 years. It's going to be amazing. They do talk about in their announcement video about how ultimately they want to have a safe environment and learn from other events, both in the traditional as well as the esports related side of things. Learning from NBA, NFL, other sports on how they're able to get that many people in to a stadium. How can they also do that and make sure that that same level of health conscious aspect for a multi-billion-dollar organization is able to translate into esports? How can they do it correctly? How can we make sports esports same? They then kind of go on this big tangent about why LANs are so important and that they understand and hear us. They talk about the moments and the specific times and how you can get kind of engulfed in the whole feeling of what a LAN is. If you guys have never been to a LAN, I do apologize, because it is some of the best times I've had in my entire life. I do agree wholeheartedly with everything that's being said. The feeling that is associated with LAN cannot be recreated, and Rocket League is a game that truly lives on LAN, so everything in their power to make them happen is extremely important. They then get asked about Worlds. Pretty good system from where the majors are going to be and what the intentions are. Right now, they do talk about how Worlds in the future will be in North America. That is their plan and what they want to do, pending no issues with the whole COVID restriction situation. can tell you right now, North America is in a pretty rough spot when it comes to the whole COVID situation. So whether things will improve or not by then, we don't know. But their intention is bringing everything back to North America, while majors will be in different countries depending on where they decide. They haven't talked about too many details on that. It'll be kind of a play-by-year situation. They do plan for the World Championship venue to be massive. They're talking like 30,000 type of seats in a bowl kind of situation, like going big, which is awesome because it's going to be a 2-week event. The way that broadcast is going to break down is 2 different ways. Let's talk about the major first. The major itself, they have intentions of being a 5 to 7 day broadcasted event with intentions of at least 5 days. As for trying to make it comparable, they want to make the majors equivalent to what RLCS World Championships were of the past, which is a pretty big thing to say. If you guys have ever tuned into CSGO and watched like the Boston Major with Cloud9's run, that is the feeling they're trying to give and provide to international majors. This is why a lot of us were excited about the RLCS X season. Majors are going to be essentially 3 times a year. That's like having 3 world championships a year and then another event that's even bigger than that one still to come. Majors should excite you when they do come back and people are able to attend. They're going to be insane. They also do mention regionals and how there's potential for them to be LANs in the future. As of right now, obviously, it's too many moving parts. They want to see how things are going, but there is potential in the future that all the regionals between the year could also be LANs as well, where you can go and attend and watch North America play, Europe play, build those fan bases, give some specific home crowd stuff going, and then when majors happen, have all of those people. Like it's gonna be pretty sick. Currently they don't have anything locked in, but potential in the future. They just want to see engage what the community feels, which is understandable. Ultimately, I think there's just a lot of restrictions in place, a lot of moving parts. No need to force it just yet. That's regionals, majors. Let's talk about the World Championship. As for the World Championship, they plan for it to be a 2-week ordeal, that's a long LAN. It's a lot of live content for Rocket League. The first week of World Championships is going to be the World Championship wildcard. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out part 3 of the guide where I break down what the different formats are going to break down into. Wildcard, 16 teams, bunch of different stuff. Top 8 of that goes to the World Championship. It's the easiest way I can explain it. This will not be like a big LAN event. This will be like in a hotel studio. It's going to be very intimate. Those teams are going to be there alongside the other teams that are practicing and scrimming and shooting content. These wildcard teams are going to be pretty much in an in-hotel studio, very intimate, still have a lot of production value to it, but it's not going to be the live event with all the lights, cameras, all the crazy stuff, the introing of the teams. It's going to be a very intimate thing. Just a place where we can get no ping, LAN environment, LAN server, competing with no excuses. Once they figure out the 8 teams for the wild card in the first week of the World Championship event, the second week will be them joining the other 8 teams that have already qualified to the main event. So you're gonna have 16 teams again, and it's gonna be nuts. A week-long LAN. What that means, what that pertains to, I don't know if it's just a ton of matches or if they got some special stuff planned, but that is a long ways away. But it should be something that's very exciting. Hopefully show matches, hopefully unique ways to show the broadcast, hopefully not broadcasts that are 8 to 10 hours long every single day, so we all get burnt out, casters and stuff included. Hopefully they do this in a way where the scheduling feels good. Like I'm talking like 4 to 6 hours a day max, very palatable, because you are going to have a lot of burnout, and that's something I hope that they're thinking of ahead of time. You're talking grand final stuff is going to be best of sets in that final bracket. That is so many matches in one day. It's unbelievable. And I say that as someone who just did the We Play event where we had a lower bracket final and a best of set. It was still a possible 8 matches a day. 8-hour broadcasts, 10-hour broadcasts are not the play. It's too much viewer burn, and I hope they consider that. But a week long to do it is going to make for some pretty exciting things. Hopefully a group per day, some stagnated start times, a lot of really cool stuff that they can do. Plus, who knows what all the extra heckin' stuff they're going to do alongside of that. Maybe they'll do concerts again like Hollywood Principal. Either way, LANs are back. They're going to be bigger and better than ever. There's going to be more of them. Pending things go okay with the whole COVID situation. But you can expect a major to be a LAN, international. Right now, it is going to be players, staff only. Eventually, if things get better, they will open those up to fans if they can find a way to do it in a healthy way. But that is the concern. Taking care of the players, the coaches, staff, everybody first. And then once they figure that out, finding venues and stuff, they'll announce accordingly. But we do have a LAN. We do have guaranteed international competition for Rocket League for the first time in 2 years, happening in Stockholm, Sweden for the fall major. Should be really exciting. And it's going to include more than just North America, Europe, South American OC. We're talking all these other regions as well. It's going to be exciting. That is going to wrap it up for this part of your Rocket League guide for the 2021-2022 season. If you guys do have any additional questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, if you enjoy the content, give a thumbs up, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.